academia is wholly about public good. So everything that we do in higher education is about advancing opportunity for our students and advancing knowledge and well-being for the nation.
Why CSU? What was the draw card there?
CSU speaks to my commitment to access and equity, that a significant proportion of the people who study at Charles Sturt University are people who are first in family to go to university, who come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, many First Nations students, and so we really are opening the door to opportunity for people who might not otherwise have had that opportunity. And we're investing in regions that otherwise run the risk of being left behind. Charles Sturt, after whom the university is named, his mantra was, in the public good, and that's one of the reasons why he was chosen as the person after whom the university would be named, because of his commitment to the public good, and that is very much what the Charles Sturt mission is.
So now that you've been in the role for a little while, is there anything that has kind of surprised you by the university? I mean, I know you knew what to expect, broadly speaking, but you spend so much time across all of the campuses and on the road. What has surprised you about it?
The breadth and the passion of the work that people do. So the breadth of it, every time I speak to an academic, I am surprised anew by the interesting, exciting, amazing and wonderful things that they are either teaching or researching or both. And I am perhaps not surprised, but always delighted by the passion that they bring to it. They are intrinsically and deeply motivated by the mission of the university. The ethos of the university is a Wiradjuri phrase gifted to us by Wiradjuri Nation called Yinjamara Winangana, which is the wisdom of respectfully knowing how to live well in a world worth living in. And that mantra of being part of a world worth living in is really embraced by our staff in a way that's not just the way a motto on a glossy ends up living on the bookshelf, but is something that they really believe in and are committed to. Many of our graduates are filling the really essential roles that enable regions to be viable. The teachers, the engineers, the nurses, the doctors, the IT workers, all the professions that make it possible for regions to survive and thrive. So everything we do on the teaching front helps to create a world worth living in. And of course, on the research front, people are driven all the time by the excitement that their discoveries can make a difference in our regions and in the world. We are certainly very attuned to what the needs of our regions are and willing to have a go at looking at what could solve those, as well as to think differently about what the opportunities might be. You've probably spoken to some of our researchers in AI and who are looking at, well, what are the differences and what are the opportunities for artificial intelligence for the regions? A question that might not get asked by a metropolitan university, and yet a third of the country lives in the regions. Do we really want to develop the tools of the future that don't speak to the needs of a third of our population? We're doing work on health that particularly attends to, well, what are the differences about health for people who live in the regions? Because there are, and if we don't look at that, maybe no one will. So some of it is really attuned to the special circumstances of the regions, but of course, much of our research, both pure and applied, could go on having application anywhere in the world. Our fish and rivers research is hugely influential and useful in Southeast Asia, which depends substantially on the fish populations of their rivers to feed their communities. So research done in a little town in New South Wales can nevertheless go on to have global application.
What's your big picture vision for CSU, say 5-10 years down the track?
For me, I hope that the government and the community will come to see regional universities especially Charles Sturt, but across the regional university landscape as being a really critically important part of the higher education and innovation landscape, to not see regional as a kind of second best option, but as a really important part of the whole puzzle. We have unique skills to offer in educating First Nations students and students from access and equity backgrounds, and we do really well at it. So the students who come to Charles Sturt rate their teaching experience really highly, and I'd like to see that more valued than it probably is now, more lauded and more recognised as a wonderful educational experience. And I'd like to see us really taking our place in the innovation and research landscape of Australia. I'd like to see Charles Sturt recognised as the truly innovative and forward-thinking research university that it is. I know a lot of our aspirations are those higher visionary ones about creating a world worth living in, but people coming to university also want to know that they are going to be employable at the end, and we've topped the rankings for most successful graduate employment outcomes 6 years in a row. So people know that they're getting work-integrated learning, they're getting courses that have been designed in partnership with industry so that people who come out of Charles Sturt are very job-ready and they get jobs.
So just lastly, what's a typical day for you look like?
Meetings and driving. Meetings and driving, yes.